Hi friends, I'm Catherine Drewry, Director of Children's Ministries at St. Gregory the Great Episcopal Church in Athens, Georgia. And today I'd like to share a story from the Bible. I found this one in the Lion Storyteller Bible, which has stories retold by Bob Hartman with illustrations by Susie Poole. And Lion Publishing Company is the publisher. Let's see. This story is from the Gospel of Luke, and it's called Jesus and the Tax Man. Hear the story. Jesus is coming, somebody shouted. Jesus is coming to Jericho, and everybody ran to meet him. Well, almost everybody, for there was one man, one wee little man, who did not run to meet Jesus, and his name was Zacchaeus. It's not that Zacchaeus didn't want to see Jesus. He did. He really did. But not only was Zacchaeus short, he was also afraid of the crowd. Not many people liked him, you see, partly because he was a tax collector, but mostly because he collected more taxes than he was supposed to, and kept what was left for himself. Jesus is here, somebody shouted. Jesus is here in Jericho, and everybody cheered as he walked through the city gates. Well, almost everybody, for Zacchaeus did not feel like cheering at all. He wanted to see Jesus. He really did. But how could he walk out there in front of all those people he had cheated? And what would they do if they got a hold of him? Then Zacchaeus had an idea. There were trees by the city gates, tall, leafy trees. If he could sneak behind the crowd and climb one of those trees, he could see Jesus and not be seen himself. So off he went, out of his house and through the empty streets. And because the crowd was watching Jesus, he had no trouble at all slipping behind them and shinnying up a tree. "Come and eat at my house," somebody shouted. "Come eat at my house, Jesus." And because it was a great honor to host someone as important as Jesus, everybody shouted at once. Well, almost everybody. For there was one man, one wee little man, who kept his mouth shut and tried hard not to rustle the branches. "Thank you very much," said Jesus. "You are very kind, but I have already decided where I will eat my dinner." Then Jesus looked straight at the trees and called, "Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, come down. I'm eating at your house today." "Zacchaeus," somebody shouted. "Jesus is eating with Zacchaeus? He's the worst man in town. There must be some mistake." And everybody moaned and groaned. Well, almost everybody. One man, one wee little man, climbed down from the tree, as shocked as the rest. Why would someone as good as Jesus want to eat with someone bad like him? But he was happy too, happier than he had been for a long, long time. And so, with a smile spreading across his face, Zacchaeus led Jesus to his house. "What are they saying?" somebody whispered. "What are they doing in there?" And everybody gathered around the tax man's door. That's when Zacchaeus threw open the door with a bang. "Greetings, everyone," he shouted. "I have an announcement to make. I've been talking with my new friend Jesus and realized that there are a few things I need to change. I've cheated some of you, I admit that, and I want you to know that I'm sorry. So sorry, in fact, that I will pay you back 4 times more than I stole from you. What's more, I intend to sell half of what I own and give the money to the poor." The crowd was shocked. Never in their whole lives had they seen anyone change like that. They stood there with their mouths wide open, and nobody said a thing. Well, almost nobody. "Don't you see," said Jesus to the crowd, "God has sent me to share his love with everybody, even those who have done some very bad things. That's what I've done, and now Zacchaeus loves God too." That's when the crowd began to cheer. Jesus and Zacchaeus and the whole town of Jericho. Everybody. You see the big tree behind me? This is a white oak. It's a very special tree. It's called white oak because the bark looks kind of white, doesn't it? So they stand out when you look in the woods. When you're trying to find a white oak, it's kind of easy to pick them out. Well, I wonder if you've climbed any trees. I wonder if you would climb a tree to see somebody important like Jesus. I wonder how Jesus knew Zacchaeus' name. Do you remember the story that tells us that God knows each one of us, knows every one of you. God knows your name. God loves you. I miss you all, and I send you my love, God's love. And if you're starting school this week, I hope it goes great. If you've already been in school, I hope it's already going well. Despite all the challenges we've got each other, and let's keep going. Thanks, everybody.